Welcome on in, it's your main man Built Up Real Nice, and today we're diving into the possible Black Myth Wukong DLC. That's right, I said the DLC. Already for Black Myth Wukong, the game ain't even been out a full year. Well, maybe it has, but I just played it. Did my first playthrough, and the game is amazing. It should have won Game of the Year, because whoever won Game of the Year, there's a lot of, it's all right, it's okay game, but I don't think it should have won Game of the Year.
Oh my God.
Shouldn't have won Game of the Year. Just my opinion. I don't know who over them boats, but we may need to recount them.
Rock.
Wrong.
That is over and over again.
Wrong.
He actually,
Because Black Myth Wukong is such an incredible game. Let me start by saying this. I am a Black Ops 6 Call of Duty main.
Oh, really?
And let me just tell you, I have not touched that game since I started Wukong. Now, I know Call of Duty is in a bad stage right now.
Trash, but I could tolerate it.
Right now, and they're trying to bounce back. But I haven't even thought about Call of Duty. I haven't even cranked up the game. I've been addicted to Black Myth Wukong, and I'm already ready to go through my second playthrough.
I like this one.
This is what type of game that is. I encourage you, go buy this game. I'm not sponsored by them, but go get this game right now. If you ain't got it, don't look at this video. This video ain't gonna make no sense to you. But if you have played the game, or you are playing the game, or you're going through your second, third, fourth, fifth playthrough, this DLC that we may get at the end of the month will be epic.
Wow, that was epic!
Epic, I tell you. But let's get into the details. I came across this YouTube video. Let's look and see what they say about a possible DLC coming at the end of the month, the Chinese New Year, and some other things. But first, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get it. Before I start this, shouts out to Finn Ryland on the update as well. This is a great video. I found this on YouTube, dope video on possible drops on the DLC, but let's dive into this. Let's see what he's talking about. Okay, bro.
Let's get started. Black Myth Wukong has emerged as one of the standout titles of 2024, captivating gamers with its stunning visuals, deep narrative, and challenging combat.
Look, we already know Wukong is the ish. I mean, it is top notch. It's the best game out there right now. I mean, there's not a better game than Wukong, Black Myth Wukong, in my personal opinion. And I can tell you, a lot of people agree with me. So that's number one. We can fast forward through this because we know the game is off the hook.
The base game's success creates an ideal platform for a DLC expansion. Black Myth Wukong has plenty of untapped potential, with its lore and gameplay offering fertile ground for further development. Expansions in the action RPG genre have historically performed well, as seen with Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, which achieved critical acclaim and captivated fans despite being an add-on. While the
Wait a minute. So we need to put a poll below. And like, let's just ask this question. Elden Ring or Black Myth Wukong?
DLC for Black Myth Wukong may not reach the same scale. It has the potential to bring a fresh perspective to the game's core mechanics and narrative, ensuring it feels like a meaningful addition, rather than a mere extension. Speculation about the DLC's release date has pointed toward early 2025, with a particular focus on Chinese New Year.
What'd I tell you? Chinese New Year about to be lit, boy.
According to gaming consultant Daniel Camillo, sources close to the project have suggested that the DLC could release around January 29, 2025.
Hold on. When people start putting names and stuff, I gotta do my research. Let me do my research. I think I already pulled this up. Daniel Camillo, DLC for Black Myth Wukong will come out somewhere near the Chinese New Year. He's a reliable source, number one. Number two, he basically is saying, I can't say that it's gonna come out, but I think it's gonna come out. That is right at the end of January or very soon after. This is according to a very reliable firsthand source I've heard from. Look at this. Daniel ain't playing. All right, let's get back to the video. Let's see what else they're talking about. Let's go back full screen, shot.
This timing would not only tie the expansion to a culturally significant holiday, but also provide ample time for players of the base game to recharge and rekindle their interest. Unlike the long wait between Elden Ring and its DLC, This relatively short gap feels well calibrated to maintain player excitement without oversaturating the audience. Aligning the release with Chinese New Year is more than just a marketing strategy. It reflects the game's deep cultural ties to Chinese mythology.
That makes perfect sense. Like, have you seen some of the stuff from Chinese New Year's? It looked like things in this game. The monsters look like some of the things in this game. Look, hold on. I got some pictures for y'all. Y'all think I'm playing? Y'all think I'm playing? But if you just Google, let's just Google Chinese New Year. Let's go through some images. I don't need to know the date. You can't tell me this don't look like Wukong. Look at this monster. Look at this monster. That looked just like the dragon in Wukong. Tell me don't look like the dragon in Wukong that we fought against. That white dragon. Tell them. This look like one of the monsters we went against. This all falls in line. What were we talking about? This DLC drop. Just bring it on out, man. Go ahead and announce, man. Let's crank this thing up. All right, let's get back to the video.
Storytelling, and timing the DLC with this major holiday reinforces that connection. For players in China and those in the global Chinese diaspora, the DLC could resonate on a cultural and emotional level, much like how Western games often launch around Christmas to tap into the festive spirit. This release strategy could elevate the DLC beyond a gaming event to a broader cultural phenomenon. Timing aside, the DLC offers an exciting opportunity to address some of the gaps in the original story.
Yep.
The protagonist's journey in the base game is filled with hints and unfinished threads that could be explored further. Whether the DLC focuses on continuing the tale of the Destined One or shifts its perspective to another character, it has the potential to add depth to the narrative. Players have already fallen in love with the game's intricate world, and diving deeper into its lore would only strengthen their connection to the story.
Now, if you haven't played Black Myth Wukong, I encourage you to play it so you can understand what he's talking about as far as the love for the game, just the story, the background, the whole story of Wukong is just unreal. I've educated myself on a lot of things. This is my first time playing a game like this and doing a playthrough. It was challenging. It was a lot to soak in. I'm still soaking in a lot of new things that is tied to this game, from culture to what Wukong, who he was, his all this stuff. It's just make sure you go get the game.
Expanding the game world is another avenue where the DLC could shine. The base game already features breathtaking environments, from mist-shrouded forests to ancient temples, each teeming with atmosphere and detail. A DLC expansion could introduce entirely new regions, each with distinct aesthetics and challenges.
Now, when y'all bring new challenges in, I'm gonna tell you my least favorite challenges. That ball that was rolling around, and you had to go in the little gaps. If you played it, you know what I'm talking about. Don't bring that little ball back, okay? That's number one. And number two, in chapter 6, all them rocks and all them little different areas, let's just spread them out a little bit more, because I felt like they was stacked on top of each other. But anyways, that's all I want. But bring all the new challenges.
These new areas could serve as the perfect backdrop for fresh adventures while enhancing the sense of discovery that is central to Black Myth Wukong's appeal. The combat mechanics of Black Myth Wukong are a standout feature, offering a blend of fluidity and complexity that keeps players engaged. A DLC expansion could introduce new abilities, weapons, or enemy types to build on this foundation. By pushing the boundaries...
My number one thing is to make sure y'all read. I didn't do a lot of reading and I missed out. It's not one of those games you rush through and just start attaching things. Read, do your research on this game to get the full experience. Luckily, I had people in my YouTube channel and people around me that had already played the game that was kind of walking me through it, showing me things I would have easily missed just by not reading. So from your medicines to your soaks to your to the staffs you use to your transformations, each one of those have text on them for a reason. Make sure you read those. And so as I do my second playthrough, I'm going to focus more on those, but I can tell you it helped tremendously towards the end of the game, to not to be so reliant on just one style of gameplay and one style of fighting, because you need to learn all those things to beat the bigger bosses. Just a hint I want to drop.
Of the combat system, the developers could ensure that the DLC feels innovative while staying true to the core experience. Introducing fresh mechanics or tweaks to existing systems, would provide seasoned players with new challenges and further distinguish the expansion from the base game. The rumored inclusion of multiplayer or cooperative elements in the DLC is another exciting prospect.
Now, they've already added some updates in the game for free that they could have easily charged for. If you've been through the game one time and beat it one time, you can do the Gauntlet Challenge, which I plan to do in a couple of days. They also have a where you can fight any boss in the list to practice on, maneuvers, if you want to look at certain builds, if you want to work certain builds, which is really cool. So if they do drop this DLC, it's probably going to be top of the line, and one that's going to be probably one of the best DLCs that anyone has ever seen on any game attachment.
While the base game is a single-player experience, allowing players to team up for certain missions or boss fights could add a new layer of engagement.
Now that's crazy.
Co-op gameplay could bring friends together to experience the game in a different way.
Now that's crazy. If you can team up with somebody and fight people and new bosses, that's going to be a whole nother level. Or even fight against each other, that's going to be a whole nother level.
Enhancing replayability and broadening the game's appeal to a wider audience.
Yep.
Another key aspect of the DLC's potential success lies in its ability to embrace the mythological roots of the game. Journey to the West is a rich source of inspiration, and the DLC could delve deeper into lesser-known tales or characters from the story. Exploring these elements would not only enrich the game's narrative, but also celebrate the cultural heritage that makes Black Myth Wukong unique. The early 2025 release window also places the DLC in an advantageous position within the gaming calendar. While major titles like Avowed and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 are expected to release around the same time, they cater to different gameplay preferences and won't directly compete for the same audience. Black Myth Wukong's focus on action-oriented gameplay and mythological themes sets it apart from these titles, ensuring it retains its niche appeal. Compared to the crowded lineup of early 2024.
All right, I really don't care too much about the lineup or whatever the case is. I just wanted to hit on a DLC. And like I said, I think there's another article I pulled up. Let's take a look at that right quick. Thank you so much. All right, I'll make sure y'all subscribe to his page right there. I'm gonna put the link down in the bio. This is a great breakdown. I went through a lot of videos. This is probably one of the best described ones on breakdown. But let's look at this. Black Myth Wukong DLC might release in early 2025. The expansion could be coming fairly soon. Look at Wukong. That's my boy right there. According to the tweet that was put from a game consultant, Camilo, we already looked at the tweet, as reported by Game Rant. Very reliable first-hand sources indicate Black Myth Wukong DLC should release in the vicinity of the Chinese New Year in 2025. Chinese New Year is celebrated accordance with the second new moon after the winter solstice, which will fall on January the 29th of this year. The tweet should ultimately be taken with a grain of salt, but it does seem like a reasonable rumor rather than any kind of fundamentally unlikely proposition. This would be too long of a wait after Black Myth Wukong DLC, especially when compared to the years that passed between the release of Elden Ring and Shadow of Eltree, whatever the case is. I ain't played it yet. It's still enough time to let fans build up some excitement. However, eliminating the possibility of wearing out too many players attempted to die back and shortly after completing the game's trials. So, who knows? Who knows? We got tips. We got hints. Will there be a DLC? Who knows? Y'all put them in the comments below. Y'all looking for the Black Myth Wukong DLC? What do you want them to add? Put them in the comments below. Let's chop it up. Let's chop it up. Let's talk about this. And in the meantime, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button on the channel. And let's keep rocking. All right. So we got reliable sources saying that may be a possible DLC for the Chinese New Year. We have other things that people haven't talked about in the game. We only got 6 chapters, but remember, there was something that leaked from the investors that said this game was supposed to have 13 chapters. 13 chapters. Unreal. If that's the case, bring them all. We want to see them all for the Chinese New Year. The amount of bosses, the gameplay, the graphics, we want it all. Keep bringing it. Now BZ, a good friend of mine, make sure you check him out. BZ did bring up a good point. He says the playthroughs over and over again. He wants a little bit increase in his health so he can at least try to compete with the third and fourth time playthroughs or fifth time playthroughs. I just want more bosses. Bring them bosses. But don't make them like Erlang, because Erlang is a whole different story. Erlang and Shell, you know the dude, Shell, the end of the game. Stone Monkey wasn't that bad. But Erlang, I don't know who created Erlang, but good God Almighty. Erlang is serious. And then you got the, what's the Shell person? I just posted a video. I just beat him. I literally just beat the Shell person. But yeah, you got him, them two, and there's some other monsters that gave me a run for my money. Lord have mercy. We don't need too many more of them monsters, but just bring some competitive monsters back. If you think this DLC is going to drop Chinese New Year's, let me see in the comments below. If you're enjoying Black Myth Wukong, let me see in the comments below. What gameplay are you on? Let me see in the comments below. And if you have no idea what Black Myth Wukong is and you think the boy on the cover looks like the guy from Jumanji, then comment below. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. This is the newest video of the week, the Black Myth Wukong DLC. Will it come? Will it come? That's what she said. But yeah, more videos coming. Stay tuned and catch me live. I go live every once in a while, maybe a couple of times a week if I'm in town. And I will be on my second playthrough pretty soon and starting some God of War. Thank y'all so much for your time. Thank y'all so much for the love and support. And I got to get out of here because I got to do some traveling. I got to go. Like right now, I'm already late. Seriously, I'm already late. She being serious too. Peace.